state gasoline tax, trail permits, and snowmobile registrations. All three funding streams sent $7.3 million to the D.N.R. last year. Okay, so there's no money from the D.N.R. In typical government fashion, the department used $2.1 million for administrative costs. 28% to administrate what? And at the same time, it's my understanding, and I haven't checked into this one, I apologize, I haven't had time, but I know it's a fact, but I don't know if it's D.N.R. driven or DEQ driven. If any of these ORVs or snowmobile trails come to a creek, river, or stream, before the bridge can go in, obviously you need an environmental study, no problems with that. They are now requiring a minimum of a $25,000 engineering plan. Now, why would you pick $25,000? I've been around a long time with the district, and again, I don't know if that's, and of course, then where does that fee go? It's a big fee. Okay,
Now we come full circle. We look over a series of years, and we find out that Becky Humphreys knew about the $10 million, and we're not going to beat this too much. I want to make a point. But Keith Charters knew about it and admitted so in the Michigan Outdoor News article. He knew about that in September. He still kept our arm behind our back, twisting it, trying. They wanted that license increase more than they wanted the breath of life, and they didn't care if they lied to do it. That annoys me, folks. It makes me angry. I'm proud to tell you folks that Saturday morning's show today marked the 11th anniversary of the Outspoken Sportsman radio show. We started our 11th year. It's funny looking at politicians and NRC people, because, especially Tom. I love Tom. This guy, I wish I would have had a brother like him. I'd have beat him up and took his wife. These people, I mean, they don't know what I'm going to say. I scare the bejesus out of them, folks. I really do, because they don't know what I'm going to say. Because they don't know, I don't know what I'm going to say. But I'm going to get your attention. I'm going to keep it. The point is, we've heard about Becky Humphreys, and we've heard people say, oh, I don't want to see anybody lose their job. Oh, I do. Absolutely. Becky Humphreys, gone. Keith Charters, gone. Hey, let's not do it piecemeal. Let's get rid of the whole NRC. One fell swoop. The point I'm trying to make, folks, is that the phrase you need to remember is a thing that was stuck up our you-know-whats when this thing came along with the idea that we have got to get this Proposal G together. Proposal G is going to save everything. It's going to save our bear hunting. Well, what it did was allow 7 individuals, with 1 or 2 possible exceptions, none of them have qualifications to make any kind of decisions in the outdoors for our wildlife benefit or for our wildlife experience, allowed them to actually be the catalyst for all the things that happen in the outdoors. And every decision that these people were supposed to make was supposed to be based on sound scientific evidence. Virtually, that has never happened. The decisions that are made by the Natural Resources Commission are made at the behest of the Department of Natural Resources. They're lying in bed with them, they're joined hip and thigh, and that's got to stop.
Yes, sir.
3 things we have to get rid of. Proposal G. We have to get rid of the NRC. And we have got to get rid of term limits. This has got to be done. Yep. Doesn't do us any good. You have someone there for 4 years, get them whipped into shape, finally reading off the page that we give them. And then they're out, and we got to start all over again with some no good Nick that doesn't know if his hind end's punched or bored. You want happiness and light and sweetness. You don't want to listen to me. I've had a bellyful. I wrote a book in '84. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Now you have to stop thinking. That was before the Outspoken Sportsman. That was before any of these people were in office here. That was before. How did I know all that stuff? I'm not very smart. Michelle's sitting in the back grinning at me. She'll tell you I'm dumber than a rock. So how do I know that this stuff was true? How was I able to determine this enough to write a book? And everything in that book is valid today, folks, and that was done back in '84. You want me to tell you why I know? Because I know the bureaucratic mind. And I have a basic feeling and a basic philosophy that you can always tell when a bureaucrat's lying because his lips are moving. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I can stand up here and rant and rave. You all know where I'm coming from. Again, I want to thank you for the support. A fellow back there tonight gave me a $100 bill. Second time he's done it. Did the same thing last year to help support what we do with the outspoken sportsman. And I'm not going to tell you this to blow smoke, but I'm going to tell you what the attitude is and the mantra of the outspoken sportsman. We're there to help you people. We're there to give us back the fun that we used to have in the outdoors. This gentleman that just talked to you, I like him. I like him. I'd like to be friends with him. But he said something that I'm going to question. He said, we want change. The people here want change. Well, I take exception to that to this degree. What I want is it to go backwards in the way that I used to hunt and fish and enjoy the outdoors. Well, if that's defeatist on my part, I guess I'll take it. Folks, I long for the days when I could go and sit in my blind on a given day and not have to worry about if that snap of the twig is some butt-headed person in green or if it's a deer. I can remember the old game wardens. When they were game wardens, you remember the game wardens? They'd come to our camp and it usually seemed to be about lunchtime. And we'd sit and have lunch and we'd laugh and we'd tease them about trying to catch us doing stuff. They'd say, we'll get you sooner or later. And you know what? If we really were doing something, they did. But there was a gray area there. It wasn't black and white. Now, if a D.N.R. officer drives in the yard, you're going to invite him in for lunch and a bowl of soup and a sandwich? I doubt it very seriously. Why? The point is, folks, the thing you have to remember, everybody here, you have to remember, we're not the problem. We have never been the problem. And if these idiots would get their heads out of their nether regions and understand that we can be the best friends that department has ever had, but they don't give us a chance. They won't cut us any slack. I have a saying that I like to let people know. This may offend somebody. If it does, well, that's the way things go. And that saying is, I'm old, I'm crabby, I got a bad case of piles, and I don't give a damn anymore. I really don't care. I've tried, listen, nobody tried any harder for the biggest portion of my life to get along with these characters. And I get so, and I'll tell you folks, I've been saying the stuff that was said here, now not chapter and verse, because I don't have access to the information. But basically, I have been saying for the 10 years that we've had this radio show, you have got to stop trying to get along with these people. You have got to start treating them like what they are, our enemies, not our friends, and we cannot make treaties with enemies. You can't do it. Well, I'm sure everybody on the front row wishes that my mother would have eaten me while my bones were soft. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care anymore. You know what? I'll tell you what, I can't even sleep through the week till I can get back on that show on Saturday morning and roast somebody else up. I just love it. My final statement to you all is a request and a statement. I don't plan to give up on you. I hope you won't give up on me. And I want to tell you one last thing. This is a message for all the people here on the front row. Just so you know where I'm coming from. Just so you know what it's all about. There ain't any term limits for the outspoken sportsman.